if everything that we noticed about ourselves, if we could notice them as things that are there to help us grow, then actually we have a totally different attitude about growth.
Welcome to the Tantra and Yoga podcast. These podcasts are recorded live at Anatara Ashram with Artemis and Bhairav in the Nisga'a Nation of northern BC, Canada. They bring clarity to some of the fundamental questions by spiritual seekers along the path of awakening.
I'm wondering, like, on that same vein, when we start to notice that part of the ego that's, like, aware of, let's say, like, certain gifts or aptitudes that we have that others see light in, I'm noticing for myself, like, having picked up on some of those pieces now, I'm, like, withholding that from the world. Because I don't want to feed that part of the ego. So I'm wondering what a healthier way to work with that moment is.
Yeah, I went about it the same way, so maybe you have better advice, but like I did exactly that. I would catch myself meditating and liking that I knew other people could see I was meditating longer than the bell or things like this, so I'd get up. Or I'd catch myself wanting to tell a story and I'd stop. Or I would recognize that people had a bad perspective of me and I knew I could share this other story and I just wouldn't, you know? And so that, like, not that I'm like done with pride at all. It's definitely there, and arrogance and all of these things. But yeah, this chopping of, I just wouldn't let myself fulfill the thing until, like, I felt like I kind of, in particular, people seeing me in the meditation hall was a big thing for me for a while. People seeing the convulsions that would sometimes happen when Kundalini would come. Like, I wanted people to see this, to recognize me as a special person. And so I would fight it. I would open my eyes, I would get up, I'd splash water on my face, I'd stop meditating for so long until I could come to a place where I had more equanimity around it myself. And then I could watch that thought come, but it not turn into this thing, if that makes sense. I could watch it come and, okay, there is a part of the mind that wants to be recognized as someone special. But now there is more distance between at least that particular one. And so I can see it and let it go, when before it felt so close, the one that wants to be special, that I needed to just not follow through with the things it wanted me to follow through with until I could get distance from it.
And sometimes we can't even like correct these actions. You know, you'll hear yourself talking about an experience, and you'll see that you want recognition for it. And it's okay. There's also, we don't have to like get out the belt and start whipping ourselves or something. We because this is a common thing. Oh, I'm a bad person because now I'm doing that, and it just reflect on it. You know, like these things are there so that we can grow, not so that we can. Because like, if every thing that we noticed about ourselves, if we could notice them as things that are there to help us grow, then actually we have a totally different attitude about growth. We have a totally different attitude about things that help us, really. And so rather than it being a negative thing, it can be, okay, wow. And more so, we've been doing it for so long, we've been doing, I don't know, things that are unvirtuous for so long and feeling bad about them, then we feel guilty, so guilty because we're doing them, rather than actually seeing them for what they are, and actually that we're bringing some awareness to this area of our life that we didn't have awareness before. We had no clue. We had no clue even what intention we were bringing forth in our sharing, or anything like that. So by by just bringing some awareness into this. It's already like changing a lot we're already most of the way there, really, once we're able to bring that intention, bring that awareness into our life. So
I want to say the same thing, but just word it slightly differently, which is, the reason that I needed to be chopping these things was because I was identified with them, because I felt like the one that was making them happen. And so when we think and believe ourselves to be a person or a story or things like that, then sometimes we need to turn to sublimation, or we need to turn towards, not indulging in something to get distance. But when we can establish ourselves as awareness and perceive the thing as awareness, then it's so small. And it... even today while watching Muji Baba, my head twitched and things like this. And instead of having the one of like, people will think that I'm very special, the one came that said, oh no, people are going to think that I'm special because the head is twitching. But it's the same shit. It's just a thought appearing within me as awareness. And so it rises and it goes. When previously it would rise and I would identify with it and think, how do I stop it? How do I make it go away? Da, 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 da. And so to reiterate what Bhairav is saying, I just witness it as awareness. And then it has no effect on me. It's coming, and then because I'm not investing in it, it goes just as fast. If that makes sense, yeah.
Thank you for joining us in our Q&A for today. If you'd like to continue on your path of Tantra and Yoga, be sure to visit the description of this podcast, where you'll find a link to a free Tantra course on mantra meditation, an in-depth Tantra meditation course, our community membership, as well as our teacher trainings. We have 200, 300, and 500-hour certified Yoga Alliance trainings that blend traditional and contemporary methods so that you can learn and teach authentic yoga in the modern world. We hope to see you at our school. Hari Om.